membership of the European Union is essential if we're to have a proper voice in world affairs and actually have some influence on things that really matter to British citizens. You know, we do need to work with Germans, French, Poles and others to decide how to handle Mr. Putin, how to make a European contribution to the Middle East crisis, which is so dangerous for us all. And also, our economy is very dependent on our having access to the biggest single market in the world in a globalized economy where we need a rebalanced economy. I mean, we would diminish this country if we have a silly debate about Europe, which is, with great respect, largely what we're having as far as the general public debate about Europe is concerned at the moment, and run the risk of pulling ourselves off into isolation of I don't know what kind. I don't know what influence people think Britain will have. And influence matters because a government has got to influence great affairs in the modern world in order to be able to look after the interests of its citizens.
And yet you're running out of time. There's a poll in one of today's papers saying a majority of people would vote now to leave the EU. Do you agree with Sir John that it is a 50-50 possibility?
There's a real risk. It's obviously we've got a strange air of protest around in the country, and it's time to have a serious debate. I agreed with what Susanna said a moment ago about the remarkable debate they had in Scotland. I'm not sure about the referendum, and its outcome has created more uncertainty than it solved, but it was amazing campaigning in Scotland how the whole population was gripped with a serious debate on a big issue and all its subsidiary issues. Now, we need that on Europe, but if it's conducted at the present level as to whether foreigners are really responsible for all our problems, and couldn't we solve our housing crisis and our low pay crisis just by throwing out all these European foreigners, we are likely to come to some rather bizarre conclusions. So it's pro-Europeans have got to organise themselves properly to get across the advantages of Europe, and we've got to refute some of the sillier things that are being attributed to our presence in the European Union.